Good morning, everybody. So I'm making a video today to talk about, I have two topics that I wanted to discuss today. One of those topics being your morning routine, and at least I wanted to share what my morning routine is and what I strive it to be and what I hope that it's going to become moving forward in my life in the near future, starting now. So I've learned a lot of really awesome, cool tips on ways that work for me, surrounding my morning practice, things I've always wanted to do but never worked for me, as well as what I eat, which is very, very important in your morning routine, at least for me. So this morning I'm feeling really good, so I wanted to wake up and share with all of you what it means to me to create my own wellness wonderland, so to speak, which is a term that was coined by, I want to say dear friend, but she doesn't know me yet. Her name's Katie Dalbout, and hopefully I'm saying that right. She's someone that I've been following on her blog and her new radio show that you can listen on YouTube live every week or listen to the recordings, and they're really, really great if you're wanting to take your practice further or wanting to live a more holistic lifestyle, but you don't know where to start. So she's a great person to listen to. So I wanted to share just some kind of collective things that I've been doing, or at least that I'm going to start doing. So one thing I wanted to touch on, and let me clear my yoga mat here. One thing that I wanted to touch on is often in the mornings I'm very tired, wouldn't consider myself a morning person, but I get very lightheaded in the morning, so doing high intensity workouts fasted doesn't work for me very well unless I wake up feeling like I can handle that, which often that's not the case unless I wait like 2 hours to start it. So I'm going to start with my morning routine. What I usually like to do is wake up and have a glass of water with lemon juice, maybe some stevia, make my own little lemonade concoction. I've been liking that lately. I don't drink hot tea as much as I would like. And then kombucha, the fermented tea, is one I really like. My favorite brand is a local brand. It's Town Shed Super Berry, and the flavor Love is also really good. So kombucha, water, and I don't like to eat right when I wake up. I just don't. So another thing, after I brush my teeth, have my kombucha, drink my glass of water, take my vitamin D pills, one of the exercises that I wanted to share with you all today is one that I got from Gabrielle Bernstein, and that's the, I guess you can call it like a frog lift or frog pose. It's just something to get your blood moving while also toning your butt. So I'm going to share that with you. Hopefully I do it right. So let me make sure you all can see this. What you want to do first is with your feet, you want to put them in a frog position. So that's up like this, like little ballerina feet, and your heels are going to be touching. So then you simply crouch over like this, and you're going to put your head down and look down at the floor, and then lift your rear end up. You're going to do this for 26 times to wake up. So go 1, 2, 3. I usually inhale when I go up and exhale when I go down. So okay, so that's how you do it. So that exercise, as you can see, it's not very difficult, but do it 26 times. No matter what time of the day it is, you're gonna wake up, feel really energized. You can really feel it in the back of your glutes and your upper hamstrings. So that's one of the exercises I go to in the morning. As far as my idea around food in the morning, my concept's really changed about that. So let me get my chair so I can talk about it. Okay, so As far as food goes, if you guys have been following me for, any time at all, you'll know that I have suffered from binge eating disorder, and I also counsel and consult girls who are currently suffering or have suffered from eating disorders or anxiety, depression issues through healing them through holistic ways with nutrition or exercise. So I wanted to share my story about binge eating and how I think about it now, and it's changed over the time. So of course, when I was first suffering from it, I felt very ashamed. I didn't understand it. I would sometimes wish that I had the mindset of an anorexic person. And I used to be anorexic when I was in middle school and a freshman in high school. And I was like, why can't I just learn to deprive myself again? Why can't I just restrict myself? Why can't I just eat a little bit of calories? Like, why am I all over the place? Like, feed me, like, can't stop eating. Like, I hate that. Like, that's so unattractive. So that really fed into my disease, and the more guilt and shame I had, the more I would binge. I also found out that I was depressed, and when I became sober, I started binge eating when I became sober from drugs. So I used food as a way to self-medicate myself, and for me, Western medicine, at least in the antidepressant section of things, I guess you can say, it works for me. And I'm one of those people that I need to be on antidepressants, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Anyway, I'm super happy since I discovered that that's something I needed and that's something that will work for me. And one of the reasons it works for me is because, I believe in it. I believe that it will work for me, but I'm not an advocate of it by any means. I'm actually the opposite. I believe that you can be healed through nutrition or through meditating or through other ways. For me personally, it didn't work. So anyway, I was listening to the Wellness Wonderland radio, and Katie was hosting one of her episodes with a gentleman named David, and I don't remember his last name, but I'll post it below. And he was talking about the idea of feasting and famine. So basically, it's an idea I've always played with in my head, but I've never really heard anyone say it in that terms. So I've dabbled around with fasting for periods of time, and then intermediate fasting, so like fasting for just 12 hours a day, and then eating again, and I loved it. But from someone who has a compulsive binge eating thinking, it wasn't something I could stick to. So I'm really focusing on just changing my relationship around food, how I think about food, something that's more relaxed, where I don't have to count calories, but I don't have to be guilty if I'm not counting calories and my macros. And this so far has really worked for me. So one of the things he talked about is, hundreds and thousands of years ago, we as humans, as a population in a species, we would feast, and then the famine would come, or the ice age would come, and that works for us. That's how we evolved, and that's how we survived. But now we're all about feasting. We have so much abundance of food, and we're feasting for an ice age that is never going to come. So we have to find ways, very creative ways and unique ways that work for us on an individual level to find that famine, so that you don't have these crazy thoughts or these eating disorders. And one thing I came to do to accept my eating disorder is there's on a very cellular level, there's something in me that needs more calories and more nutrients, and I'm going to take that as a positive thing. My body's very intuitive. It's very in touch with the nutrients it needs. I'm at least in touch with my body enough to keep seeking for more food rather than thinking it as a negative thing. And when I did that, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I just need to find ways to feed my body and feed it the nutrients that I want. It doesn't just end at clean eating. It's not as simple as that. And if you're getting meal plans from people or meal plans from me, just know that the best meal plan that you can create is the one you create for yourself. Lots of trial and error. I'm not going to be able to give you the magic cure to your weight loss. And it's taken me a couple of years, and I'm still not there. So for an example, one of the things I like, so I shared with you my morning routine. I'll just move into the rest of the day. So for the rest of the day, from David, I got these ideas, and I've always liked doing this, but because our society and culture is so, 3 meals a day, 5 small meals, I haven't really let myself do this, even though I've wanted to so bad because of the stigma around it, and because I feel like there's not a lot of people that do it. But I've always loved it when I've had a day like this. So I have my kombucha and my lemon water. I work out, and then I have my Shakeology, which is the only superfood that I'll stand behind. It's a blend of the most worldly superfoods that you'll ever find in one mix, and you can buy it from me. So email me if you have questions about Shakeology. So I'll have my Shakeology, and that's very nutrient dense. So I know I'm getting everything that I could possibly get from the food, at least in the industry that we have today. So I drink my Shakeology, and then I kind of not forage, but I'll just kind of dabble on things throughout the day that'll make me feel like I'm getting nutrients and things that are fun to eat, but I don't have to necessarily sit down and have a big salad with a breadstick and soup. So one thing I'll share with you, my Trader Joe's little shopping spree I went on today, and I'll share with you some of the favorite things I got. So one thing that David talked about was he eats this stuff called, I should probably Google it. He eats this stuff, and it's Native American, and it's jerky basically. It starts with a P, but anyway, once I find that, I'll let you know. So this isn't the same brand, but I got this beef jerky. It's organic from Trader Joe's. There's no preservative or nitrates in it. It's gluten-free, no artificial flavors. Okay, so it's called, I feel like that's not the right word. Pessimistic jerky? It can't be that, no. Okay, whatever. It starts with P. I'll share it later. And what he does, he'll just eat one of these every often, whenever he feels like eating one. So that's a good way to snack on stuff throughout the day. And then also, I'll share the website for that. Not these. Also, getting a really, really high quality dried fruit is something good to snack on, depending if your digestive system can handle fruit. I know a lot of people can't handle that sugar. For me, I can't handle a lot of it, but I do like my frozen blueberries, and I do like dried fruit sometimes. I'm not a big fan of bananas, but I got these dried apricots, and you want to make sure they're really high quality. So a lot of the ones in the big bins at your health store food are gonna have a lot of things growing on them, and a lot of their nutrients has been, kind of sucked out of them. So these are unsulfured dried apricots, and you want to make sure you're buying as locally as possible. If you look at the ingredients on the back of these, it says apricots. Bingo, that's what we're looking for. So these are really good. And then tonight, what I'm gonna have for dinner is my leftovers that I made, and I'm posting the recipe on my blog later. But for dinner, I'm having these, I would call them lettuce boats. They're just romaine, pieces of romaine lettuce, stuffed or filled with a grass-fed chicken breast that I cooked in the oven at 350, mixed with a bunch of avocados, salt, lemon juice, and then some pomegranate seeds. So I'm gonna have that, and then I'm gonna try to just have that. I think I'll be good if I just eat that. I might have, I don't know, I might stack more of my apricots, or maybe have another serving of my vegan chocolate Shakeology. So we'll see how it goes. I posted on Instagram today what are the 3 things you do in the morning. So for me, it's that frog lift pose, my kombucha, and my lemon water. So I would love to hear what are the 3 main things that you do as a ritual for your morning routine. So feel free to post those in the comments, and let me know what you eat during the day or some good snacks that you have found to keep you going without having to have big, heavy meals. So yeah, I hope everyone has a super vibrant day, and message me if you want to talk. It's alexisolsonfitness@gmail.com. Bye guys.